Awesome. So I'm going to call him right now. Make sure audio settings are okay. Yo. Okay, if you're talking, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. Let me just set up my Wii U real quick.
All right, sure. So where are you from?
I stay in Cali.
Okay, cool.
I'm in Fremont at the moment.
Awesome. And then who do you play?
Ryu.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That makes things easy. I'm gonna throw the stream in the Ryu Discord too. I know that sometimes when I throw the stream in the Ryu Discord and I'm coaching Ryu's, people pop in here and help out too.
Oh, I see.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. And then I think you sent me an ID. Yeah, I'll add you right now. So yeah, that's just kind of what you're looking for. Just play some games, see what I can pick out, see what I can help with.
Yeah, I got a bunch of questions too, so once we play a few games,
Awesome.
you can probably tell what I'm doing wrong and stuff, so yeah.
Are there any matchups or anything that you want to work on, or any like specific stages or anything, or just mostly just kind of like general habit stuff?
I think maybe, well, I'll let you know. Let me just set stuff up.
Okay.
Yeah, my house is in a mess, so gotta
No worries.
sort it out.
All right, I do have a remote.
Free for all.
Wait, did you mean to send that to me?
What?
The message on Discord.
Oh no, that was a mistake.
Okay, I kind of figured.
Oops.
No worries. Okay, I think that's good. I just changed some of my mic settings, so if you can still hear me, then we're all good.
Okay, I guess I'll set up on my end too.
Survival.
Okay, cool.
Ryu.
So you're recording and putting this on Twitch?
Yeah, I'm streaming it right now, and then I will be throwing it on YouTube later, so that if you want to look back on any of this stuff, or you want to like, so you don't have to like worry about writing stuff down like while we're going and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Okay, cool. All right. So I've never really done online play with just create a room or something, or just join a room?
Yeah, if you just go into for friends, as long as you added me, I sent you a friend request, and then once you add me, if you just go to for friends, I should be in there.
So when I'm on the online screen, do I just press with friends here?
Yeah.
Okay, and then go to one player, two player?
One player, yeah.
One player, okay. And you just press create room, or?
My room should be there. Unless you didn't accept my friend request.
Oh yeah, so how do I accept your friend request? Do I have to go back to the home screen or something, or?
Yeah, you just have to back out of online so you aren't on online anymore.
Okay.
And then using either the gamepad or Wii remote, open up the home screen and go to your friends. And then accept the request from there.
Oh, I see. Friends list. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, I think I accepted.
Okay.
Let's go back, I guess. Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
Awesome. There we go.
Okay.
So yeah, if you have any questions or anything that you want to ask, don't be afraid to stop me. This is your time.
Okay, totally cool. So we play one game before we jump into questions?
Yeah, for sure.
You can probably tell how bad I am. Okay.
Awesome.
And so staging, should we just do count Smash Bros?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Okay, cool. So this is center of stage. Okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, that was, okay.
So this is your first time playing on Wi-Fi, like just in general?
Has just begun.
Okay, so yeah, this definitely might be a little bit jarring, just because playing on Wi-Fi with that little bit of delay, especially with Ryu, is gonna be tough. So I definitely like understand if there are things that you're like trying to do and you just like are kind of like messing up.
Yeah, it's, the input's a little bit slow.
Yeah, and it definitely like kind of screws with your inputs too. Just that little bit of delay suddenly kind of like, I don't know, if you're a very, very visual player, that stuff can kind of throw things off.
Probably using hemom007. off the first.
Yeah, definitely. Shoryu to Shoryu is something that I do a lot.
It's just begun.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Yeah,
now.
go for it.
Okay. First of all, is like your button layout, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any like special button layouts like make like playing Ryu?
So I use the only things that I change are I use tilt stick, which I'm sure you probably do too.
Right. So C stick becomes like the.
Yeah. And then I change Y to shield. So I have attack on A, special on B, jump on X, and then Y on shield. And then everything else is default. I have tap jump off. I have AB smash off, and I have rumble off. I think those are the 3 other options. But basically, the thing that I do differently than some other people is I play claw. So I basically always have my right thumb on the C stick, and then I have my right index finger I use to push all of the buttons. And sometimes I'll pull my thumb up to press like B for like focus attacks and stuff. But it allows me to, like, for example, if you're trying to do Nair strings, it allows you to hold forward on the left stick, and then jump using X using your index finger, and then do Nairs with C stick Nair, with your right thumb on the C stick.
Done. Yeah. Got it.
So yeah, it's not like something that's essential, but it allows you to really just kind of like. Well, the C stick Nair really helps because then you can just hold straight forward, and just kind of like jump whenever you need to, and then Nair whenever you need to, and it's just kind of like, it kind of takes down the chance of getting like misinputs or anything like that.
Right.
And then the only other thing is just like that it helps with is just doing things like do you use C stick for your aerials or the A button?
I shift. Yeah, so I shift like the A button. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because my tap jump's not off, so that's why I didn't have to press the X and Y buttons. I can just do tap jump and then do the.
Okay, so you have tap jump on.
Yeah. So
Okay.
You think tap jump off is advantageous?
I've seen cases for both of them. Tap jump isn't as big of a deal, but as I think like using your C stick for your aerials, I think is really important.
Okay.
Just because you can't get special moves with the C stick, and one of the big things that would happen to me, like when I was playing Ryu to start, is I would try and do something like fast fall back air, and I would press down to fast fall, and then I would swing back my control stick back to try and do the back air, and then I would get Tatsu.
Oh, okay.
So that using C stick for all your aerials just kind of gets the chance of misinputting that stuff kind of out of the way.
Okay.
Same with things like dash attack. I've had times where I'll do like fast fall. I'll do like a short hop and then I'll try and fast fall it, and then I'll try and dash attack immediately.
Right.
And you go from that fast fall, which is the bottom input, to the forward input, and then you press A, and sometimes you just get a Hado. So what I'll do instead is I'll dash forwards, and then I'll press C stick forwards to get my dash attack.
Oh.
Just so that the chance of that misinput is much lower.
Right. So then you're saying for all your basically your A inputs, you just use the C stick instead?
Most of them. If I'm mashing down tilt or mashing up tilt, what I'll do is I'll do one up tilt on the C stick, and then I'll immediately transition over to the A button, just because you can do them faster with the A button.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
But other than that, I think I don't really use the A button that much. I'll use it for hard tilts, and smash attacks.
I see.
So yeah, and basically there's another thing you can do I don't know if I have it on right now, but sometimes I'll put my L button to attack, and then to do strong tilts, you just use the C stick and you press L at the same time, and it'll do the hard tilts.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So then you don't actually have to tilt your control stick, and then there's also less chance of misinputting those as smash attacks or as just regular tilts.
Right.
So I know sometimes I'll go for like a strong up tilt or something, and I'll just get an up smash. So that's another thing that you can do that's just kind of like a controller thing. I don't really use it right now, but I know that there are a lot of reviews that do.
Okay. So you have your right thumb on the C stick, your index finger on the Y button. Or X
Yeah,
button,
on X, yeah, mostly on X.
and your middle finger on the R button?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like,
Your R button?
yeah, my R button's on shield still.
Okay, got it.
And then for grabs, I still have it on Z or Z, and I just move my index finger over. I can kind of, I have pretty small hands, so I can almost rest my. I can have my index finger on X and on Z at the same time. And I press X with like almost my hand. Like it's hardly even my index finger at that point. Like it's very far into the finger.
I can sort of see what you're saying now. Okay.
Yeah. So I press it with like, yeah, the tip of my index finger is up, like almost.
On the Z button. Yeah.
Yeah. It usually when I'm like resting it, it'll sit like over top of Y and like slightly towards the start button. And then I can move it over to the Z button.
Okay.
I'm gonna show stream because stream probably has no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I hold my controller like that, and it's kind of weird, but that was just like always what felt right for me. Like that's how I've been playing games like that forever. Like when I played like shooters way back in the day on like Xbox, like Halo and Call of Duty and stuff, that's what I did too, is I played claw. It's just what I'm like used to. And I think there's a lot of benefits for it for Ryu. And there are a lot of really, really good players who play claw.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tweak actually plays double claw, which is really interesting. He uses both his so he claws with his right hand like I do, and then he also claws with his left hand, and he uses two fingers on the control stick. He uses his thumb and his left index finger, and he kind of like controls the control stick like that, and that's why his SDI is so good. He can SDI so well because of that, and it's actually pretty crazy. But yeah, so that's basically what I'd say about controller stuff for Ryu.
Maybe hop in one more match and
Yeah,
do
for
some
sure.
more questions. I'll do town six.
Three, two, one, go!
Sorry if I know how you got. Oh shit!
Oh, that's your second jump. I'm guessing you meant to land on stage there.
Yeah.
That's totally okay.
Range is 1/5 short.
I was gonna snap ledge, but I didn't.
But that already was a little bit better. I can tell that just like playing a little bit on Wi-Fi helped, just kind of getting used to it.
Yeah.
Survival
Cool. And okay, so I have a question. So like for your two Shoryu, right?
Yeah.
Do you just input the Z command, or do you like the double tap to the bottom?
I don't ever use the double tap. There's two different things I'll do. Is I'll do the actual like full Z, starting at, or if I'm already running, you can just do down forward.
I can
So-
see a Twitch. What do you mean by that?
So if you start holding it right, like it's basically still doing the full Z, but you don't have to re-input the forward, you know?
Oh, you just move it down and to the right,
Yeah.
to the left. Okay.
So it's almost like doing like a hotto while you're like after holding forward.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So the easiest way to imagine Shoryu for people who are kind of like new to it is just like imagine pressing forward and then doing a hotto. And that's basically what it comes down to. And then
Oh, I see.
to make it easier, you can if you're already running or you're already moving forward. Like for example, what I'll do is if I'm down tilting somebody, I will already be holding, or if I'm up tilting, what I'll do sometimes is I'll hold forward while I'm up tilting. So I can move slightly forward while I'm up tilting. And then it's as easy as just pressing down forward to actually do the Shoryu. If that makes any sense. Because I can hold straight forward on my control stick while I'm up tilting and hardly move. And then I already have the forward input kind of buffered. In a sense.
Okay, I see. So to do Shoryu, do you use the A button or do you use the C stick?
I don't think you can use the C stick for Shoryu. But yeah, it's A or B. I don't ever use B, but I will use A, Z, or taunt depending on the situation. Weirdly enough, you can do taunt, or you can use the taunt button for Shoryu.
Really?
Yeah, if you just want to go into the kind of like training mode before the game starts, I won't start it yet if you just want to try it. But you can use left and right taunt to do Shoryus. And then you can also use the grab button.
Okay.
And the good thing about the grab button is it does the smallest Shoryu possible. Because you know that if you hold the button longer, it goes higher, right?
Right, right.
Yeah, so if you use the Z one, or the grab one, it will go the lowest possible height. Which means if you're trying to like bait somebody, or if you're like not super sure the Shoryu's gonna hit, you can go for that one. It does less damage, but it's really good as like a get out of combo tool. Like for example, if like a Mario is like up tilting you and you know it's not true, and you just want to break out of it, you use the Z one so that you get out of it, but you don't go super high in the air so he can punish.
I get it.
You just use the tiny one.
Okay. And then so sometimes I see like you land, like in our previous match, you land and you do Shoryu in the reverse direction.
Yeah.
It's like, is that like you putting the Z and then you flip to the right to the other side?
Yeah, so it's just like B reversing other moves. But it's a little bit more complicated because you have to do the input first. But basically, it's the exact same concept as B reversing other moves, which is you do the input for the move, you press the button for whatever you're doing, and then you reverse it. So for example, like a B reverse is usually like you press the input, like for example, you press your side B, and then immediately after pressing the button, you reverse it, right? So it's the exact same concept, but you press the A button and then immediately turn it around.
Okay, so you're saying you press A button, you leave it, then you flip it to the other side.
Yes, but it's fast.
Okay.
You need like a hand cam for some of this stuff.
Yeah. Sorry,
But it gets to be really, really important once people start SDIing behind you. to know how to do that reverse shoryu, because some people, like, if you're up tilting them, they'll pop out behind you, and you can just be reverse shoryu to catch it, but it's hard to get used to.
Got it.
Oh, and then also the using shoryu with the taunt button that I was talking about earlier. The only time I use that is when I'm off stage and I really don't want to miss input.
Right.
But I want to use true shoryu. There's times when, like, usually I'll just use regular up B, right? When I'm recovering, because it's just like, why risk misinputting? But if somebody's like coming down and like trying to hit me, and I think that like invulnerability is really important to get, what I'll do is I'll use the taunt button. Because if you misinput with the taunt button in midair, the worst thing that's gonna happen is nothing, right? If you taunt in midair, nothing happens.
Right.
But if you press the A button in air, you could get the, a back air, a forward air, a down air. You could get anything that would potentially put you in more lag or put you in a bad situation.
Okay.
So the taunt button just kind of like is like a kind of a fail-safe. I don't know why shoryu works with the taunt button, but
Pretty good actually. So the taunt button, it's guaranteed true shoryu, and the Z button's guaranteed low shoryu, right?
Yeah, basically. The Z button, like, you could get grabs with, like there's the potential for that.
Oh, I see.
But it's the exact same timing as any other input, So like if you have your shoryu input down with the A button, it's the exact same thing. You're just pressing a different button.
Okay.
And then the taunt button one is just to like minimize misinputs in the air.
Okay, I see. So you go forward. Oh, that makes so much more sense. If you're already dashing, you press.
Yeah, down forward.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so it's definitely something that's like easier to do. You don't even have to go like all the way down either. Like I kind of like hold forward and then I just kind of flutter it. I flutter down and then right back up. Just like a really quick, almost like a twitch.
Okay, I see. And then another question I had was, so in the air, right? I see some of your old videos, and you're like, to do like some of the nair springs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're able to pull off like your half hop so fast, like, and you like, and like sometimes like you nair them once, and you have enough time to nair them again.
Yeah.
With another half hop, right? And then you do like the upper after that as well. Like, do you like buffer every single move? Like,
Yeah, I buffer everything. So, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier with doing C-stick attacks, like C-stick aerials. It helps a lot because you can press the jump button and then buffer your nair out of your jump squat. Because every character has like 3 or 4 frames after you press the jump button where they're still technically on the ground and the jump is just starting. And then during that time frame is when I input the first nair.
Okay.
And then you have time to get another nair in like almost right before the ground. So then the nair chain, you can even do it out of short hops. And short hops are harder to do it with,
Yeah, I see it.
but you can get 2 hits in. So it comes down to just making sure that you're buffering everything. And it makes it a lot easier to buffer everything when you don't have to like... So, when I C-stick nair, right? You can C-stick nair by pressing nair, or pressing the C-stick in any of the corners of the C-stick. And I use that so that I can just hold forward on the control stick and I don't have to bring it back to like the neutral position to actually do my neutral air. And then I don't have to worry about doing that, and I can just literally hold forward on the left stick and then just focus on my jumps and my buffers basically.
I see. So, how do you get to neutral on the C stick? Is that just like you should just neutral at one of the corners?
Yeah, it's any of the 4 corners. there's if you have tilt stick, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you need to have it on tilt stick. And it's just any of the four corners that aren't one of your other moves. So I personally do down right, like I bring it to the bottom right corner. But everybody does stuff different. I know Void uses C-stick nair a lot, and I think he uses one of the upper corners, but I don't remember. I can't say that for sure.
Okay, now
But-
I understand why claw grip is so good. Like,
Yeah.
you have your right thumb right on the C stick, and then you have your index finger like right on the X button.
Yeah. So it makes your aerials really fast. Things like rising nairs, rising forward airs, rising back airs just become really fast, and you don't have to worry about like misinputs or anything.
You're totally right. You're totally right.
It's something that's I think really really good with Ryu, but like not essential. I've seen a lot of people play without claw grip and do really really well. So I think it's something that's not like super crazy important, but I've heard from a lot of people that they kind of tried to like implement it and it helped them a lot.
Okay, I see. I'll go back to claw grip soon.
Yeah, it's something that like changing your grip like that is something that might be like difficult to do, but I feel like it'll definitely benefit you, and I think like it'll benefit you for a long time, especially if you're planning on playing Ultimate, because the same thing will definitely apply in Ultimate, right? Doing things immediately out of jumps is the main like benefit for playing Claw, and just being able to do that in Ultimate, especially because Ultimate seems like it's going to be even faster of a game.
Yep.
So I think that'll be pretty important there too. So you'll be setting yourself up for success there too.
I see. Okay, cool. You gonna play one more game real
Yeah,
quick?
for sure.
Okay.
Three, two, one, go!
I don't remember that. Oh! So if you land with your nair, you can instantly Shoryu's like confirm.
Yeah.
Journey
It
has
works
just
at
begun.
a lot of different percents, but the percents are just kind of they're not really specific percents, but you just kind of have to know what hit of nair you're getting and what percent they're at. On characters like Sheik, you can kill them at like 55 or 60 with like strong nair, and then run up and like, you know how you do nair chains and you'll do like landing nair and then you'll run a bit and then you'll do your next rising nair?
Right.
Rather than doing the rising nair, sometimes you can just true Shoryu them and kill them.
Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. That's okay. Yeah.
And then you can also do at higher percents, like 90 to 100 on most characters, or like even 80 to 100. You can do falling weak nair and then run up Shoryu, and that'll be true. So it depends on the character, the percent and a rage and like a lot of stuff, but it's something that's like really really good. I think it's actually probably what I get most of my kills with, even over up tilt Shoryu. And I know
Right.
up tilt Shoryu is really really good and it's kind of like his like staple, but like having the option to just kind of get that like weak nair in and then Shoryu out of it is really really good.
I see. Okay, cool. And then I got another question. So regarding stage recovery, right, with Ryu.
Yeah.
What do you think is like the best stage recovery? Like sometimes I see you guys like fall off stage and come back up with like a rising up air or something like that.
So from the ledge.
Right.
I don't do that often, but it's a very high risk, high reward option.
Right.
So, because getting caught off stage as Ryu without your jump means you have to basically Tatsu in over and over again. And characters like Sheik, characters like Mario or Sonic with like good back airs, you know, they can just continuously keep you out there hitting your Tatsu over and over and over again. And there are some characters that won't be able to do as much as far as that goes, you know, like they'll have a little bit more trouble edge guarding you in those situations. But for the most part, once you get off stage like that without your jump, you're kind of screwed. So
I see. I get it.
Dropping and jumping from the ledge, you can do like at low percents, you can get like up air into up tilt into like a nair chain, or like up air into grab into stuff like, and it's definitely a good option to keep in your repertoire as like a mix up, but it's also definitely something that carries a lot of risk with it. One thing that I do every once in a while is I'll do drop jump focus, so and then dash onto the stage.
I remember you doing that. Okay.
Yeah, so that's something I do. It's just, and that's not like super risky. The worst thing that happens from that is you get grabbed out of it and then you don't have your jump. But most people aren't ready to grab that. It's more of like a it's like a kind of a glorified neutral get up with the chance of, you know, actually hitting the punch and then killing them. There are characters... Wait, yeah, go for it.
So when you're getting up the stage, are you buffering your jump button?
I drop and then I don't think you can buffer the jump button from the drop, but basically I press down and then I hold down, right? Because you're about to do focus attack. So I press down to fall off, and then as soon as I see myself fall off, I just press jump and B at the same time. And then I dash on stage.
Okay, I see.
And then you can release the punch if you see them shielding, or if you see them if you see that they try and hit you with something. Like, for example, there are some characters that really like trying to cover ledge with smash attacks. Like, for example, Fox loves trying to cover, because they can cover roll and they can cover neutral get up with like the same F smash. So that's really good against Fox. You can get like a focus attack level 2 and then you can combo them off stage and kill them. Or other characters that you think might be trying to cover it with a smash attack of some sort, or even just like a single hit. But I don't really do the drop jump up air that much. I think it's definitely still an option that's like worth experimenting with and using, but I don't do it too much myself.
I see. Cool. We can go in one more smash if you want.
All right.
I feel sort of bad like asking you questions so often.
3, 2, 1, go!
That was cool.
So yeah, one thing that is super good that I use a ton is down throw to up air. And so what I
Yeah,
was
seen that,
doing
yeah.
on you is basically what happens is if you down throw them and they air dodge, you just grab them again, and then you do it again. And if they try and jump out, they can get like a little bit away from your up air, but then it catches their jump.
I see.
So what happened there on the first stock of yours is I grabbed you at like 30 or so, and I did down throw up air, and it caught your jump, which forced you to fall straight into my up tilt, and then I did up tilt nair dare, and you didn't have your
I
jump
see.
because I carried you off stage without you having it.
I
So
see.
it's just an option that's like, it's really good against characters that don't have quick get out of jail free like combo options. Like for Ryu against Ryu, you can just shore you out of down throw, and I can't get anything, which is really, really good. But the issue with that is if I predict you're going to shore you, I can just sit on the ground and charge a focus attack and wait.
Right. Exactly.
So it becomes kind of a 50-50 then. Either you get put in a really awkward situation because of my up air, or you shore you out, and then either one is a little bit rough. But yeah, and then just the up air leads into a lot of really, really good things, because you can get on some characters like Bayo, you can get just like down throw up air up air up air up air like you can just like do it over and over. And then fast fallers like Sheik and Fox, you can do stuff like down throw up air up tilt regrab, and then just do that over and over again. But yeah, it's definitely something that's very, very valuable.
I see.
Oh,
Understood. Yeah.
and
yeah.
then the other thing that I just noticed, at the start of that game, you did down tilt, strong down tilt to Tatsu, which
Right.
like is good. It's not like it's a bad combo or anything, but you just have to be really careful with where you do it, because in that situation you didn't have anything above you, and I was able to come down right on top of you while you were still in lag, and I didn't actually manage to punish you, but there are definitely characters that will get like falling aerials and be able to take like a really, really big punish up for it. For example, like if you do that to a Sheik at low percents, they'll just land with forward air into grab into forward throw bouncing fish, and suddenly they've gotten just as much percent on you as you've gotten on them. So what I do a lot of the time is I'll do down tilt to strong down tilt, and then I'll run in for a grab, and if they DI down or they don't DI, the strong down tilt to grab is actually true. And if they DI up and they jump out, now they don't have their second jump, and I can catch their landings.
I see.
So I'll do that a lot on characters like Diddy. I'll do strong down tilt to try and do grab, and if they jump out, then I have the opportunity to catch their landing, carry them off stage, and try and gimp them.
Got it. Got it.
So yeah, basically just be very careful about when you do down tilt to Tatsu. It's a good option against a lot of characters at like kind of a medium percent if you know they're not going to DI it right.
Right.
But if you don't have something above you, then it's kind of putting you in a rough situation.
Right.
Like if you
But,
know where
like,
the Smashville platform is or something, like yeah, go for it. Or like even like Battlefield, like that kind of stuff is usually fine. You just need to have that little bit of safety so that you know you're not gonna get punished back.
I see. Makes sense. So use the Hadoken after like the strong down tilt is safe, right?
It depends. There are people who will DI up far enough that can just get over the Hado or the Shaku, but it's less common. Like most people won't be able to do that.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd say most of the time I don't really do anything out of strong down tilt besides just like run up grab or just put pressure on. Sometimes I'll try and read jumps out with like strong down tilts like back air, but usually I do something a little, like I kind of keep it. The other thing about Tatsu and like Hado are like it puts your opponent back into neutral. Like, if you do strong down tilt into Tatsu, it's like, okay, now you're both on even ground again. Or your opponent might have, like, a slight advantage on frames if you're, like, not under a platform.
Right.
But if you just do strong down tilt and then you just kind of, like, pressure them, you now have an opening that keeps you in advantage state. So, against characters that you won't get many openings against, I feel like it's really, really good to stay in advantage state for as long as possible.
I see.
So rather than, like, resetting with something like a Tatsu or a Hado or something that, like, will get you more damage, it's sometimes more beneficial to just kind of, like, take the stage control, keep them in disadvantage, and then continue pressuring, if that makes any sense.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Alright, awesome.
Makes sense. Yeah, we can jump in a little more.
Awesome.
Three, two, one, go!
Nice.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
Yeah, and that's something that I do every once in a while too. Is I'll up tilt people, and if I know they're high, like a little bit higher up, and I need a little bit of time for them to fall, what I'll do is I will run underneath them, and then B reverse my true shoryu, so it messes up their DI.
Yeah.
So if you up tilt someone and you know they're holding away, you sometimes just have the time to run underneath them, and it's still true, but then you have the opportunity to actually mix up their DI and just make them DI straight into the blast zone. Just when the percents are like close to killing, but not like actually killing yet.
Okay. So that in that small time frame, you're able to input the Z and then reverse it in another direction.
So it's the same thing that like I was mentioning earlier.
Oh, you can do like the down and then to the right or something.
Yeah. So I up tilted you, and I was already holding forward.
Right. Okay.
So as soon as the up tilt ended, my character automatically started running towards you. And then all I have to do is do that little flick, press A, and then flick backwards. Which you can do really, really fast.
I see.
It's something that's like not, it's definitely not easy to do, but it is very, very good.
Right. Yeah, that's what you're saying. I'm trying to do it. Yeah, you're right. It's way easier to go dashing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about like reducing the number of inputs you put in. Like,
Yeah, it's about efficiency. You just don't want to be working harder than you need to be. And part of that comes with just like muscle memory and like that kind of stuff, but it comes down to like, yeah, I guess it comes down to just getting your muscle memory kind of right.
practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you just gotta do it. But you can see how, like, at the start of that game, there was a point where I did down tilt, strong down tilt, and then I just stood there, and
Right.
you teched the down tilt and rolled in, and I immediately got up tilt to grab off of it. So it's like sometimes I will choose to not go for a full punish in order to keep you in disadvantage and go for something more.
I see. That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna just switch around to a few different characters just because the Ryu Ditto is like, it's really
Yeah,
really
it's-
volatile, and it's like it's
Yeah.
hard for me to kind of pick stuff out for it. So I'm gonna see what else I can pick out with a couple of my other characters. And if there are any characters that you want me to play, I'm more than willing.
Yeah, there are a few, but yeah, if you can play Sheik first.
All right, cool.
Three, two, one, go!
Yeah. I'm guessing that was a misinput for a back air. Yeah, so that's exactly why I do the back airs with the C stick.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like take take away that fear of those misinputs.
Right.
And then also that definitely like I can tell that you're less comfortable in situations where you have to approach your opponent and they're like not really going to approach you.
Right. Initial game is so weak.
Yeah. So the main thing to do in that situation is like if you're how exactly do I explain it? If your opponent is giving you space, you want to make sure that you are kind of taking that space from them. So what I'm doing as Sheik is I'm standing far enough away from you that if you do something, I can react to it.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do is you just want to move into that space that I'm creating. So I'm moving away from you to kind of keep that distance.
Right.
I'm almost running away from you, right? It's not like quite running away from you. It's just trying to keep that distance where I can react to something. So you want to like slowly take that distance and take stage control just using that. Just kind of either walk forwards or just kind of like slowly move forwards. And then when I'm forced to, eventually I'll get to the point where I'm close to the edge of the stage, right?
Right.
Or even like you're at center stage and I feel like I'm starting to get threatened, then I'll start to do something, right? And that's how it goes in a lot of matchups where people won't approach. Like for example, if there's a Bayo holding bullets at the far left side of the stage, you push slowly towards her, and now suddenly she's afraid to use bullets on the edge of the stage, and she wants to do something to get back into the middle of the stage.
Right.
And then those are the things you want to punish. Either people like rolling past you or like trying to jump over your head, or even them trying to push you back with like Sheik. Sometimes when they get scared, they'll jump forwards and try and forward air you back to make their own space again. So it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so get me into the situation where reading.
Sorry, one more time.
So like basically get me into the situation where they have to like do like a 50-50 like choice, and just like read the choice from there.
Yeah, it's a little bit more abstract. Well, basically, like it becomes with zoners, what they want to do is they want to make you make the first move, right? Because when you make the first move, it's as easy as just being like, oh hey, I can just react to that and then punish.
Mm-hmm.
But so it becomes take away that choice for them. Make them have to take the first to make the first move, essentially.
Okay.
And then it kind of becomes a rock paper scissors game again. Like who's gonna move when. But basically what's happening right now is you're jumping in, and I can see that you're jumping in or that you're moving towards me, and it doesn't even become a rock paper scissors game. It's just every single time you do something, I wait for it, I punish, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And then so the way you turn that back into being a rock paper scissors game is you force them to sometimes have to take the first move as well. I'm going to be making a video about this. I've put the script and stuff together, and hopefully I'm going to be putting that out within the next week or so. So that'll definitely help explain what I'm trying to talk about a little bit better. Yeah. So you can see how I'm kind of keeping that little bit of a distance, and then each time you jump forward or you do something, then I'm punishing. Nice, very, very good.
Platform like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just see you waiting for the air dodge.
Yeah. So basically,
Yeah.
you were doing a lot better near the second half of that game. But it's a lot of just like, okay, it comes down to like the first step is basically don't get hit by the free stuff, and the free stuff is like, for example, with Sheik, the free stuff is like, you know, waiting for your opponent to do something really obvious and then like grabbing them. And like, for example, the free stuff with Villager would be like forward airs and back airs, retreating, you know, like that kind of stuff. Or like Cloud, it would be like retreating back air, you know?
Right.
Because this stuff is like stuff that you can't really punish. Like it's too far away. Ryu doesn't have the speed, you know? But the advantage you get from that stuff is the stage. You get positioning. And the further they get into the corner, the sooner you know that they're going to take a little bit of a risk. But the first step is not getting hit by that kind of like free, like quote unquote free stuff. I don't really like calling it free stuff, but don't get hit by the kind of like unpunishable stuff that they...
Right, the spacing stuff, right?
Yeah. Characters have a lot of moves, like characters have moves like that where that if they just kind of like retreat them, they're like really, really safe.
Right, so in that case, you just watch them do it and just like slowly go into their space, you're saying?
Yeah. For example, or for example, like if a Bayo is back airing, you know, it's really, really hard to punish a Bayo back air if they're like fading backwards with it and like moving away from you with the back air.
Right.
So what you want to do is you just make sure that you shield those moves, you don't get hit by them, and then you just move forward with them. You take the stage control rather than taking the actual like punish, if that makes any sense.
I see. Is Lylat still a criminally legal stage?
Yeah, Lylat's still legal.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Number of times I've been janked.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, too much. God damn it.
Nice.
Nothing like isn't like it's just like just playing the against the character, but like it's like smash BI. Isn't like the best way like smash BI. Like a lot of these things, like especially Bayonetta and stuff. Like it's like a preferred way smash BI. It's like just
it's different for everybody. I don't know. I know that there are a lot of people that do SDI in really, really strange ways. I don't even know if I can really show how I SDI on stream. But basically what I'll do is I'll, like, for example, I SDI up on most things. Like, that's just like what I'm most, like, I can tell that's just like what I get the most SDI inputs out of. So that's usually what I'll do. But like, it comes from my arm. Like, I don't just use my finger to SDI. Like, I'll hold up on my controller, and then I kind of move my whole arm It's kind of weird.
That's kind of weird.
But if you just want to hop into a game here and just like up tilt me, I'll show you how far you can actually get with SDI. Because there are a lot of people who just like don't think that it's like important to SDI single hit moves.
No, yeah.
But
yeah.
it's not even so much flexing my tricep so it vibrates. I literally just like shake my whole arm. Like I move my arm back and forth. I know what you're talking about with like vibrating your arm, but like I don't really do that. But hold on, wait 1 second.
Sorry.
Okay, go now. So it depends on when you hit me and what my controller's doing when you do. But this is at 0, right? If you get me up to like 100 or so, or like a percent when you're going to be trying to shore you, and plus Sheik's a fast faller, right? So it's harder for her to SDI. But then suddenly it's like, okay, if you're trying to do one up tilt into a shore you, suddenly you have to decide, do I have to jump shore you? Do I have to...
Right.
Because sometimes, you know, people will just pop right behind you like that, or they'll pop up and behind you. I've had that happen.
Yeah, they go to the other side, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's hard to do, and it's something that's definitely like, it's like, it's not necessary. Like, SDI is never something that's like super like important to like know against everybody. Obviously Bayo, it's really important, but even like against Ryu, you can get like out of a ton of stuff. And yeah, it's basically like making the person work for their conversions rather than just getting it for free. And yeah, honestly, like how to actually SDI is pretty hard. I don't think there's anything in the training mode mod pack yet that you can really practice SDI with. I'm hoping they eventually do. I love the training mode mod pack, by the way. I don't know if you're looking to do anything like that, but it's super good as far as practicing inputs, practicing combos. You can just set your computer on random DI and mashing air dodge, and you can practice like combos and that kind of stuff.
So what is this called? It's called the
training mode mod pack. Let me see if I can find it for you right now. And then I'll send it to you on Discord. It's yeah, this is it. So it's I'll send you the link, and then I'm pretty sure there are YouTube tutorials as to how to actually install it. Let me see if I can find you one of those as well. Because it's very, very, very valuable. I think this one's probably fine.
What's up, guys?
Oh god, that was loud. Yeah, this one's more or less right. But basically, it takes a little bit to set up, but it gives you stuff like being able to set save states. So like, rather than having to reset and like set up a whole bunch of stuff, you can just kind of like go from the same place each time. You set a save state, then you can load it. So if you want to practice a specific combo from a specific place on the stage, you can do that. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. You can choose, like, for example, if you want to practice Nair strings against somebody that's actually like DIing correctly, you can set their DI to be DI away and then mash air dodge, and then you can practice and make sure that you're getting your Nair strings like really, really true. Or you can set people to like mash jump out of things or mash an attack out of things. I'm pretty sure you can even pick which attack they mash. So if you're like wanting to practice against a Sonic or something, you can practice against them mashing spring out of combos.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, it's that kind of stuff. But we'll hop out of this to another game. Is there any specific matchups you wanna or like stages you wanna touch on?
Your range is 1 fist short.
Nowadays.
Wait, sorry. You kind of cut out there.
Yeah, I said like, you can play Bayo.
Oh, okay, awesome.
And so for Bayo, mash is like down and away, right?
It's
So like the up air.
it's a little bit more complicated than that. It really comes down to like if the Bayo knows which way you're SDIing, they can usually cover it.
I see.
So what you really want to do is you just want to SDI the way that you think they're not covering. You know, you want to make sure that it's unexpected. So it's hard to do. You have to be able to SDI more than one way, and SDI well. Yeah, it's hard. It's one of the most kind of like abstract things in Smash 4. Once you get to the point where you can do it, the matchup isn't actually that bad. Like I actually think Ryu beats Bayo, but I can understand why people struggle with it. You know, like because it's like just such a different concept.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say mostly just like practice how you're SDIing and making sure that you're doing it in different directions too, because if you're just doing it in one direction the whole time, people will definitely pick up on that and body you for it. Oh no, I thought I'd still be on stage. That was my bad. Nice, that was good. Oh. That was weird. I must have messed up my triple jump. I don't know what happened there. That was weird.
The journey has just begun.
But yeah, for the most part, like your SDI isn't like bad. You were getting out of my combos like pretty decently. You weren't just like dying to them, which is good. I'd say one of the harder parts about this matchup is just like punishing Bayo for her landings.
Right.
Because even when she has a lot of lag, it's like, okay, she has a lot of options that she could do here.
Yeah, I agree. Like a down air, right?
Yeah, so the down air, even like there was the one time where I was coming down with lag and I just forward aired your shield once. Or I forward aired you, I guess, once and hit you once, and then you couldn't really get a punish after that.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. They can even just like, even if they're out of jumps and out of everything, they can still just jump off of your head. So even if you just sit and shield, it's sometimes like not very effective just to like sit in shield and just like let them land on you. So what you want to do is you want to put yourself in a position where they won't be able to just land on top of you.
Right.
And also you want to make sure that you're covering the ledges. Because they'll either try and do one thing, or two things. They'll either try and land right on top of you, or they'll try and land and grab ledge.
Right.
So it just comes down to putting yourself at a distance where you know they're not going to be able to land on your head, and they also won't be able to get to the ledge itself.
I see.
But for the most part, that wasn't bad at all.
Yes, did 2 times. I feel bad.
That's okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely like a matchup that's like not super easy. I'd say the part where you're getting caught up in the most is basically when you're in disadvantage.
Right.
And so what the main thing that you're missing in disadvantage is just like a mix up on options. When you're in disadvantage, like basically you're kind of like either mashing jump or you're mashing air dodge, and both of those things don't really get you out of disadvantage. They just kind of like or that's not quite, I guess, what I'm going for. Basically, like you're just not really using aggressive options out of combos.
Right.
There's no point where I'm like, okay, I need to be really careful about how I combo here, because he might do something out of the combo, right? There was a point in time on I think it was still your first stock, when you just ferret out of my combo, and then you shoryu'd out immediately after. And I got hit by both of those, because I wasn't expecting actually having to...
yeah, the mix-up after...
Yeah. Because like with air dodge and jump, they're both good options, you know, like that can get you out of things, but when both of those are all you're doing, I don't have to be careful about how I combo at all, right? I don't have to worry about like messing up, because even if I mess up, I'm not going to get punished. You're mashing air dodge, you're mashing jump, right?
Right. Yeah.
So just not being afraid to kind of throw out your own hitboxes and knowing when I guess also kind of studying how much time she has in the air and what tools she has left, so that when you do get an opening, because I was leaving a lot of openings in my combos and stuff, but when you do have those openings, being able to recognize that they're there and then being able to punish on them.
Right.
And it's definitely not easy because she has like some of the most tools in the game in the air like that. But it's something that will help you a lot. I used to struggle a lot more with this matchup before I actually picked up Bayo myself.
Right.
I used to actually not play Ryu in this matchup at all. I'd play Sonic. And just play like super campy, like almost like timeout Sonic. But I picked up Bayo like pre-patch and started playing her for a while, and then I've been playing her since. And it's really helped me with the matchup. So I'd say like if you're having, and this goes for more matchups, not just Bayo, but if you're ever having issues with a matchup, playing the character itself sometimes will really help you with that sort of thing. Because then you start to realize where the openings are, what playing as the character feels like. Like, for example, like if you're playing as Ryu, you know that it kind of sucks to get like, playing against a lot of people, they just kind of give you, not so much give you openings, but like if you jump in with a forward air, they're just like, oh my god, that did so much shield damage, and they won't even try and shield grab you. But then playing as Ryu, you're just like, oh god, I got shield grabbed like 4 times that like that game, you know, like.
Right.
So just knowing where each character has openings is really important. And sometimes playing as those characters, even like casually just with friends, you know, like playing random, you know, like just kind of getting acquainted with all the characters and everything will help a lot.
Yeah, I totally agree. Oh my god. That is such an easy play.
But that was going a lot better though. It was definitely harder for me to just kind of like combo you and that kind of stuff. Also, just kind of knowing like which direction to SDI and which like, because there are some points in time where like if Bayo has just X tool left, if you SDI this way, she won't be able to get anything. So it's kind of like a knowledge game on that stuff too. But that stuff is kind of like hard to know, or how to just, or like hard to just know intuitively. So, but this video is extremely good, and they go over all of that. I'm linking you another video here. It's pretty long. It's about an hour long, but it's Tweak and it's Cosmos and it's Keitaro going through some of the kind of that sort of stuff. Like if Bayo only has Witch Twist 2 left, you can just SDI away from her and then she can't get anything. That sort of thing.
Got it.
But yeah, that was already better.
Okay. Yeah, so what you're saying now, but aggressive.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where I'm losing my jump. I keep on losing my jump.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was talking about. By you don't want to let her land on top of you, because I saved both of my witch twists there, and I still have a jump. No, I don't think I had to jump, but I saved a lot of my tools so that when I landed and you were just sitting in shield, I did the forward air 1 on your shield, and then I did the witch twist on your shield, and then I still could have jumped off your head and also still had another witch twist. So, but as soon as you take away those options by not sitting in shield, because if you don't get hit by Bayo's forward air, then she'll just fall to the ground. She doesn't get that little like boost of height from it. So as soon as you can take that away from her, either by spot dodging her forward air or just by getting out of range of it, then she has to fall to the ground and just take that leg, and then punish. And then also you're going for punishes, which is really, really good, but often the punishes you're going for are just like for example, you're going for a lot of F smash and down smash, and while both of those are really good, Ryu has moves that are faster than either of those and give you bigger punishes, like even just like up tilt, just doing like a slight walk forward into up tilt, and then doing like up tilt, nair, down air, you know, like that kind of stuff. So obviously punishing something with anything is better than not punishing at all, but also just keep in mind what you're punishing with, you know?
That makes sense.
For example, if you have somebody at 80 and you punish them with a down smash when you could have punished them with a down tilt Shoryu, that's yet again not exactly an opportunity missed, but rather than getting a kill off that opportunity, you got like 16%.
No, you're right. You're right.
So just be careful about what you're punishing with, as well as how you're punishing.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Oh. I didn't have a jump there. I thought I had a jump.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I was dead from that combo. If I missed that combo, I was dead. So that one was a little bit of a risky combo, but I kind of, yet again, it's like I knew what you were going for as far as SDI goes. So I was able to just kind of do that without like too much of a scare on my end.
Let's see.
Survival. Three, two, one, go!
Yeah, so in general, that second witch twist, I can't actually get anything off of it if you SDI away from it. So you have to be able to tell which way I'm facing when I'm doing that witch twist. And then you want to DI away from me. Because Bayonetta's up air starts behind her, if you DI away from her, the up air has to go all the way from behind her, over her own head, and then hit you while you're in front of her. And usually you have time to either air dodge or just sometimes you don't even have to air dodge if you're far enough out. And you can just kind of like fall out of it. So that's one thing that like that's probably one of the most important things as far as like getting out of Bayo combos works. That just like that's probably the single most important thing that will get you out of the most Bayo combos, or at least not so much get you out of them, but will stop you from dying to them off the top.
Right. So you're saying like look at the direction they're facing as a second witch DI away from that direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, Toasty Mac, thank you so much for the raid. I'm doing some coaching right now, so I won't be able to talk too much with chat, but I super appreciate the raid, and I hope you had a great stream. That was really good, by the way. Yet again, holding away from that witch twist, that was really good too. Just needed a tiny bit more percent. Oh, God.
Oh shit! Alright, please. Oh,
Nice, very good. So yeah, that dash attack was basically what I was talking about earlier, which is like technically you punished it, but
One fist short.
it wasn't with what should have been
short,
punished.
yeah, should have been less. So sure, yeah, I agree.
And then also the witch time to witch time thing, that's just something that like is also kind of, I'd say, is fixed by kind of playing as the character and seeing how much lag they have on things like witch time, as well as, you know, like end lag on other moves. So I think that's one of the things that's just kind of getting you, is just not knowing just how much lag is on Bayo's stuff. Because she does have like a decent amount of lag on most of the things, but it's just like when it happens, it's not like you're not really ready for it. Oh, thank you so much for 5 months in a row, Poppy. Thank you so much, buddy. It was really, really good to see you this past, I guess, was that last weekend? Yeah, I guess it was. It's only been a week. Feels like it's been longer. Damn, very good.
Why is this in the same move? Oh, you joking. Oh, thank God. No. Okay, no, which show you at when you need it. Alright.
Yeah.
This airtime's crazy.
But so there were a few things that happened there. There was one point in time where you. Okay, I'm trying to remember exactly what happened, but I up smashed and you rolled behind it when I was at ledge. Like you were hanging on ledge and I tried to up smash to cover your neutral get up and you rolled behind.
Right.
And then you F smashed me. And this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where it's like that isn't necessarily wrong, but in a situation like that, you could have done something like up tilt nair, down air. Especially that was kind of like the sweet spot range where that's the right percent range, you know, that's the right, that's the right, like you're facing away from the ledge already, you don't have to carry them super far. So yeah, just kind of like being able to analyze those situations quickly and see what you should punish with quickly. And obviously that's not an easy thing to do, but that's something to kind of think about.
Right.
And then also the other point in time, you actually spot dodged me trying to get like jump off your head, and then you shorted it, which is perfect. Exactly what you should do.
Go!
Oops, wow, that was really bad. So you see how there you actually did DI out of the second witch twist properly. So rather than getting an up tilt or an up air, I had to go for like forward airs. Oh god, yeah, that was really good.
That was good.
The journey has just begun.
But yeah, you can see how once you start to kind of respect Bayo a little bit less, it gets easier.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's just those little things with DI that's kind of like, okay, I can avoid this combo if I do this here. And it's like, it's hard to know all of them, but they go through a lot of those kind of things very clearly in that video that I linked you.
Okay. Oh my god.
Nice, very good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's definitely tough. Like, it's definitely a hard matchup. It's just that little bit of knowledge that's really, really important. Because there were points in time where you were getting out of my combos really easily, and then there were also points in time where your SDI was almost putting you into my combos.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just that little bit of kind of like knowledge that'll help you a lot with this matchup. So is there any other matchups that you want to go over quick with our last little bit?
Maybe Sonic?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I don't even play this matchup with Ryu anymore. I just play Bayo for this matchup. I kind of gave up in this matchup. I know that there are some Ryus who think it's okay, but I absolutely despise it.
Yeah, I absolutely hate it too. Like every single tournament I go, first one I lose to is the Sonic. Like,
Yeah.
always that one Sonic player.
I can link you a VOD of a really, really good set that is like a very good example of how you want to play this as Ryu. And I think this is probably the Ryu who's best at the Sonic matchup too. His name is Diablo, and he's from Utah. And he has 2 Sonics on his PR that he is like just above. So he plays them a ton. And it's set against him against Komarakiri Sonic. And it's really, really good. He's definitely the person I'd say that is best at the matchup. So yeah, I linked that to you in Discord, but we'll play a couple of it, and I'll give some pointers when I can.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah. Yeah, so honestly, like, this matchup, like, I don't think it's worth playing the way that I play Ryu. But I don't know, it's hard to say. The hardest part about this matchup is the fact that once Sonic is sitting in Spin Dash and he has an advantage, like a percent advantage, there's no reason that he should ever let go of Spin Dash until you're right in his face. And then Spin Dash has that invulnerability right at the start of it. So even though Ryu has those like really strong hitboxes and like big big hitboxes, it doesn't really matter.
Right, because they're gonna shield and stuff, right?
Yeah, so it comes down to trying to bait out Spin Dash. And then if you can bait out Spin Dash, it comes down to catching landings or punishing them on their way up of Spin Dash.
Okay.
And yeah, I think, like, honestly, I think picking up a secondary, like, for me, like, I played this matchup for like a year or almost 2 years with Ryu. And I just tried to make it work. And I did have like a really close set against Komarakiri at Greninja Saga. But I don't think it's worth it. I picked up Bayo, and I was playing her for a very long time, but I even picked up like a Cloud in like a month or so, and that was immediately like a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that. This is the only matchup that I think I like switch off of Ryu for. Maybe Rosa too.
3, 2, 1, go!
Nice. Oh my god, nice. Oh, you didn't have a jump.
Yeah.
almost. But yeah, do you have any last questions here? I do have another lesson
that
here
was,
at 4, but
that was pretty helpful. Yeah, I mean the only thing I have left is like, obviously I think you said like claw grip. That's like the main thing I guess I was learning, because like I feel like you told me it's like that's totally advantageous.
yeah, so I'd say claw grip is like, it's not like crucial. Like I don't think you need it, but I think it's something that if you're struggling with doing aerial combos quickly, it'll definitely help you a ton with.
Right.
So I'd say that's really important. And then after that, I'd say just like knowledge as far as the characters that you're struggling in. Don't be afraid to play as those characters, just to kind of get a feel for like how much lag they have on their things. Choosing what you're punishing with is really important.
Yeah, that's totally true.
And then also just mixing up your options in disadvantage to force your opponents to kind of respect you more. Kind of what I was saying with the Bayo thing, where like you were only doing jump and air dodge, and I didn't really have to respect you. I just, kind of did my thing.
Right. Okay, and then the last thing was you said the chaining nairs, right?
Yeah.
So you said you can use nair using a C stick, but I forgot. You said you put it into the side, any of the 4.
Yeah, any of the 4 corners.
Like when I was trying to do like, even if I put it in the corner, it made it as a forward.
It is definitely, as long as you have your controls set to tilt stick, that will work.
Okay. So basically all you do is like you press the X, so you lean in with the directional thing.
Yeah.
Press X, and then you just press a C in any of the 4 corners.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Cool. Yeah, so that's what it comes down to.
I mean, that was pretty much all my questions. I'm excited for Smash 5. I mean, I'm gonna be watching you.
Okay, thank you so much, dude. And if you have any other questions, feel free to DM me and ask too.
Sure. Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, Lucas.
No problem. Take it easy, buddy.
All right. See ya. Bye.